Right. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kapodash. Second, we want to give double honor to our apostle, the GMS of Waterflow, and peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, to so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Lord's will be edified, and Lord's will, we hope the hopeful elect. We mortify members, and the Lord, our Lord Power Yahweh shall have mercy upon us. So, this is going to be one video. Lord's will, I'm going to come back and try to do another one as well. But as the title, Esau wants his demoncation money back. As you can see, and this is actually, this is real, because I know a couple of people in the world which pretty much said, they're hoping to see that letter. They get a letter in the mail, and they can come up with a negotiation or some type of way to pay that money, so-called school loan back, school loan back. Now, let me see something real quick. Let's see something. Usual bills. So let's look at this. Hold on real quick. Get this out of my way. All right. So I asked what the usual bills you have in America, and it states, because this bill that they want, your demoncation, which really served you no purpose. It was pretty much to get the hell up out of your mom's or your parents' crib. When you turn 18, you really don't know what the hell got going on. You really don't know what, a lot of women wanted to be independent, strong, independent. A lot of demonic shit went on those school grounds. A lot of men just went there for stupidity. It really served its purpose in the 70s and the 80s, which, even to this day, it kind of didn't. A lot of people are realizing that so-called college degree was worthless. They want you. Remember, one of the reasons why they took out those tech shops and those hands-on life planning, etc., out of school. But really, all in all, you really want to buckle down when you're in your teens, and when roughly when you get to so-called here in America, when you're 18, when you're done with schooling, you ought to have a career set up. You go into your field, and that's what you're progressing. And even amongst that, you're somewhat well-rounded, well-skilled, and well-nourished up in your field. But here in America, a lot of time is able to basically be wasted. They try to tell you, first of all, they try to tell you you're not a man until you're 18. You're not grown. You're not an adult until you're 18. Then, you waste more time in your 20s, roughly. You waste some in your 30s, and then really you start buckling down in your 40s. And it's all it's all been geared to turn and make the elites, Amalek rich, and make you more porous, stupid, demonic, more wicked, more of a consumer, break more bridges, enable bad habits, bad traits, bad characteristics, and it's pretty much just pretty much into the system. So I'm going to name what it has up here. So essential bills, and it says In the United States, common monthly bills typically include housing, rent or mortgage, utilities, food, transportation, and insurance. Other common expenses can include healthcare, debt payments, entertainment, and personal care. Essential bills are housing. Um, this can be either rent or mortgage payments, and is often the largest expense for many households. It's not a coincidence why the average rent is 2,000. If if you want to pay what roughly 1,300, but you can still get your car broken in. You can still get you hear gunshots, and even at 2,000, you can still hear gunshots. Still get your car broken in. I'm witness to it. Um, and I'm pretty sure brothers can attest to it as well. 2,000, you can still hear gunshots. You can still hear Nick. You still, we bros know what's up. And who the fuck can really afford 3,000, 4,000? You know. And then a lot of times when you go into those 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 ranges, you're in the HOA, and you have to abide by those rules that they have again, towards the HOA. And so, oh, and then if you have a mortgage, you have house insurance and different fees, etc. So, and they said that's a large portion of your bills. Um, so damn. So yeah, this usher in and take out what you gonna call it, $2,000 out your checking or your check, whatever. And remember, um, everybody's been told here in America to do everything on their own, be strong, independent. You've got to be on your own. So you're expected to pay all this and do all of this on your own. Just remember that. Just remember that. Woman and a man. Remember, there's no woman, there's no family. Families are not together anymore. And there's not men can't really dwell amongst each other here in America. And women, damn sure can't work together. Men can have more than one woman, quote unquote, here in America. So take all of this into consideration, right? So utilities, these include electricity, gas, water, garbage collection, and sometimes internet or cable. And we all know these things have all gone up. Electricity is high, gas is high, water, garbage. A lot of times they add that in your water. So you get two bills. Internet, that's just high as hell. Cable, well, a lot of people don't really have cable anymore. They have those streaming apps, or they have what you would call it, Netflix, etc., whatever the hell you call it. Now, food. It said this covers grocery, restaurant meals, and other food-related expenses. And we all know food is high as hell. Food is high as hell. This shit is crazy how high it is. You can go to, I guess, if you eat fast food, which I wouldn't suggest it, but to go that route, that's high as hell. I have a easy, me personally, I have a real easy diet. I don't eat breakfast. Um, I try to eat, I try to eat once a day. I try to eat a big meal once a day, Salaki. Um, and even at course, I try to eat some, like pistachios. If I eat it throughout the day, um, or I'll grab some fruit. We all know fruit is high as hell, and a lot of times when I go to the grocery store, I might get two items. That should be like $10, 12. Yeah, I might get some fruit. Uh, a bag of pistachios might last me a couple of days, but and then I might get a kombucha or something, and also coconut water. And I leave the store. It's just like $12. I'm like, yo, this shit is demonic as hell. Now you have the fast food. I don't, me personally, I don't um, know how much fast food's gotten, but I know um, if I stop and get something like that to eat, I'll go stop and get some Caribbean food, Benjamin food, etc. But all that's just like $10, $12 in itself. So things is high as hell. And if you got kids, etc., man, that shit just so shit is crazy. And it's going to lead up to my point. So transportation, if you have cars, you got to pay insurance, um, your car note, mechanic issues. Oh man, your registration, just the upkeep of a car. And and if you're not in New York, I'm gonna just say like this: if you're not in New York or Chicago, well, I never been to Chicago. I can't tell you not a damn thing about Chicago, but I know if you're not in New York, you got to have is well, New York down. I'm gonna just say it like this: if you're not in New York, it's best to have two cars because one can go down. Um, yeah, if one car go down, you have one extra vehicle for commute. But again, you got to put in insurance fees and insurance costs, upkeep, gas. Yeah, and and I like for instance, even I know in New York, if I'm up there for a couple of days, I get the bus fare, not the bus fare, the fucking well, yeah, transit. I get the transit card. That shit's high as hell. That shit's going up. That shit pisses me off. When about a couple of days when I'm in New York, I start to get fucking flustered and pissed off because that shit costs so much. The transit, bus fare, and all that. The swipes, shit is crazy, it's ridiculous. So, but overall, everything's high as hell. Public transportation, gas, insurance, car payments, etc. So there you have it. Insurance. Now, car. I'm just read it. The insurance this can include car insurance, health insurance. Well, yeah, that health insurance gets taken out of your check. Life insurance that gets taken out of your check. Damn. And home owners insurance. And even you have renters insurance. So you got to pay renters insurance. So it says other common expenses. Healthcare covers medical expenses, insurance premiums, and other healthcare related costs. Debt payments include payment on credit cards, student loans, and other debts. Haggai 1 to 6 right there. I'm not going to pull it up, but you can read it. Entertainment. This covers things like movie tickets, subscriptions, and recreational activities. Me, I go to the gym, um, and any other, uh, how you say, commutes or daily hobbies or activities that you're into, of course. And like I said, I didn't even tallying up all everything else, but just remember, roughly take $2,000 out of each check, and then again tally up the rest, and that shit is crazy. So it says personal care, and we all know we got toothpaste. Well, it includes expenses like haircuts, toiletries, and other personal care products. You gotta take care of your hair. You gotta take care of your teeth. You gotta take care of your skin. Food. You gotta take care. You gotta take care of yourself, man. You gotta take care of yourself. It is what it is. So you gotta tally that up as well. Now it says child care, school costs. Now if we have children, that's another cost as well. If applicable, if applicable, these can be significant monthly expenses. Pet care. If you got pets, I have pets. It includes pet food, veterinary care, and other pet related expenses. And even if you don't have a Veterinary, you try to do things more so on your own, even that costs as well. Um, so note the specific amount and type of bills will vary depending on individual circumstances, location, and lifestyle. And and then remember this. Matter of fact, let me see this. So from sources across the web, I'm gonna just read this out. It says auto loans, food and groceries, security. We all know we have a lot of us have. So some of us have cameras up now that how you might call it, that we have to for more so security because things are getting crazy somewhat. And remember, these police ain't worth a fuck anymore. So subscription services, cell phone, gas, sewer, personal insurance, and etc. Mortgage, and basically what I already read, but it has a more broken down description. So now going on to, oh yeah, remember Salaki. They want the what is it? Your student loan. So there you have it. Now you have all those bills, all those expenses. So roughly, you probably need roughly about 5,000, 6,000. Well, mm, roughly, let's just say 4,000 a month, maybe more, maybe more, maybe more. So roughly, scratch out $4,000 or $5,000. You know, see how much you make a month at your job. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. Majority of people make what 50,000 a year. Um, so if you make 1,000 a week, a lot of I know Virginia's rough. They don't really want to pay you shit here. Um, so I know the average $20 to $25 for that's something that's if you're highly skilled. If you're not skilled, I would say the highest 20 and lower. Um, so if you make $25, would you roughly bring what $1,000 a week, give or take, depending on how much taxes getting took out of your check. So if you get $1,000 a week, damn man, that's $4,000 a month, and damn. And even if you make like $30 an hour, I want to say what? Let me see. Let's do some math here. Um, 30 times. Let's just be nice. Let's just say you're making overtime. So 30 times 50. Uh, hold on. So 30 times 40 is 1,200. Um, if you get 50 hours a week or however you work, whatever, that's you'll get overtime. Let's hope you get overtime. So that's 1,500. Now that's 1,500. That's 1,500. I'm not adding on uh overtime. So let's just add that up. Let's get the taxes now. Well, I don't like I said, I don't know what you make, but so $30 an hour times 50 hours is $1,500. Now, what is that? About 2,045. There we go. Hold on. So 1,500 times four. That's $6,000 a month, right? But the majority of people don't make that because you got taxes being taken out of your check. So let's say 5,000. Give and take 4,500 a month, right? 45, $5,000 a month. So basically, I say all this to say this. This is if you're making $30 an hour. Not a lot of people making $30 an hour. So Majority of Americans aren't making $30 an hour. So you take roughly $5,000, $4,500 a month, and you squeeze in all your bills. Remember, remember, scratch off $2,000 already, because that's your mortgage or your rent, right? And then tallying all the other shit, which is give and take. But now they want student loans. Now, we know damn well your average student loan is damn near what, 80,000, 40, whatever. So that bill every note, that bill every month is not going to be a small one. This man's a devil. But see, majority of people here in America wanted to hear the sweet, nice things. I say all this to say this. Now I want to bring the scriptures out. Now let's talk, right? So our people, mainly you so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, because the world got over on us. They got over on us. So Hebrews 13:5, let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have, for he have said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. But we all know Christian church, Christianity, we've been fed lies. We've been taught America is our heaven. It's the so-called black man's heaven. We've been taught this is it. The so-called white man's our buddy. He's one with us. We're equal. We have a part in this society. We've been taught, all how the civil rights was for us. Now that we're all integrated, intermingled, everything's okay. Slavery doesn't matter. Everything that happened to our people before, it's okay. Everything's done away with. Clean slate. The white man is our buddy. He's going to work with us. He's going to give us everything he promised us. And we don't have to worry about nothing. Amen. All love Jesus. All praise Jesus, right? Now, but look at you now. As a nation, drugs done hit us. We done lost our homes. The last stronghold we had was prior to integration. When we were segregated, things was a little bit smoother for us. But during those times, the so-called white man was being a complete adversary towards us. So we knew not to trust this devil, and we knew not to pretty much listen to him or follow his ways. But ever since we integrated amongst this devil, and we had the black exploitation ever, we had the Superfly ever, we done had the Soul Train ever, the Motown ever, I'm black and I'm proud ever. Hey, we went downhill. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, all of the tribes, and even U.S. Indians. So, we've been taught, this is the land of milk and honey. This is gold, etc. So now Esau was able to break us, man. Put us against each other, lie to us, persuade us, allure us. Use our weakness, use our self-hatred, use our dysfunction, use us being poor, because they pretty much taught us the reason why we were poor is because we're stupid niggas. No, it wasn't because we're some stupid niggas, because you strategically made us this way. And now, since you took us spiritually and broke us mentally, now you got us physically. Now, and like the scripture says, where strife, envy, hatred, murder is all evil work. So now, since the so-called white man turned us basically more further away from us, knowing that we're Hebrew Israelites, now look at us. Now Esau wants that student loan. And Lord as well, I'm gonna do another lesson as well about this Section 8 about to get cut. What are you women gonna do? Because I don't, in all the years of my life, I've never seen a man on Section 8. So 1 Timothy 6:7 is, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And this is why ultimately relations, friendship, First and foremost, worshiping our power, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, in truth and in deed, and also loving our neighbor as thyself. And this is not talking about the fucking Edomite that's next door to you. No, this is talking about your people, because our people. Well, again, Esau tearing us up, tearing us apart. The Bloods and the Crips in Jamaica, Democrat, Republican, um, so-called Hispanics. Um, this country, this dialect is Spanish. This gang, this drug territory, this drug territory. Um, so we all broken up. Trini against Jamaica, Haitians against Jamaicans, etc. So we tore apart because at the end of the day, we fell for what the so-called white man pretty much told and put on TV. He told us we were all these things, all of them, and our people, accepted the culture. The so-called white man said, in this culture, you do this, boy. In this culture, y'all do this, all right? This culture, you do this. This culture, you do this. This culture, y'all do this. And this culture, you do this. And it's all our people know is what we've been taught on that TV. And now look at us, man. Again, the average household, no, take that back. The average person the average person in America was told you're supposed to pay everything and do everything on your own. Remember that, right? So if you're a man, you're supposed to, damn it. I guess okay, all right. If you get your own business, right? As a man, you're supposed to make over 100,000. So what the fuck you supposed to make? You supposed to run everything. So you're supposed to run your business, be a secretary, do all the paperwork, and then also, remember to pay your bills. And I just told you the average bill, and it depends on your lifestyle, it depends on your location, etc. So everything varies. But you're told you're supposed to do all this on your own, right? No help. Now, if a woman come along, she's supposed to live the sweet old life, right? So you have to tally in that factor, tally in the kids, if you have children. And we all know women, they don't understand none of this shit. They just see America, Disney, princess, good treatment, right? So she's she wants that money. She wants the children to live an extravagant lifestyle. So again, it's expenses, but pretty much you're supposed to do all of this on your own, right? So and a woman too, she's supposed to have her own little crib, whatever. She's supposed to go to college, so she can be strong and independent, so she can get her own crib, own car, be a boss babe, boss chick, whatever. But remember, then you're supposed to take care of all of this shit on your own, right? If that makes sense, right? So you're supposed to, your friend. So no friends. You're not supposed to have friends. You're not supposed to, set up any type of allegiances, alliances. You're supposed to just pretty much depend on your job, work hard, be taken advantage of at your job for these Edomite big top corporate companies, and be a good boy. And then you die off, and you die in debt. That's the American way, right? So it says, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that would be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and to many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Verse 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So since the fact that, our people really were drowned by the consumption of this place, the philosophy of this place, now look at them. The so-called black woman has become whores, sluts, and this bitches that just can't be trusted. You have become our enemy. You've become the so-called black man's enemies, and really a lot of these other nations. Well, so-called Puerto Ricans and Latino, Hispanic men are your brothers too. Those are men that are Israelites, and you can go to them, but they don't even want your ass. So pretty much you have become an enemy. So now you're about to look very bad. That's why, these, what you about to see come happen to America, man, it's not going to be looking too good. So Matthew 16:24, no man can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh and Mammon. Ecclesiastes 5:10. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This also is our vanity. See that? Um, Matthew 6:9-21. And this is all the results of pretty much living like a heathen, being a heathen, having that mindset, and not, you know, waking up and really, this is all the results of not keeping the law, statute, commandments to the best of our ability. Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. And you got to remember the reason why Revelation 18 and why the other nations have gotten rich is because what? You niggas, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans, of us being heavy consumers. Remember, there's a video out there you can go watch, and it goes into how to sell to the Negro. It's a lot of history out there on how the so-called white man knew that we were heavy consumers, and he used that against us. That's pretty much why he integrated us and wanted us to be intermingled with them, because eventually he can put his witchcraft on us, use our down. Well, really, in all, our predicament of us being slaves was already mentally draining and hurtful. So he used pretty much our our downfall, our catastrophe, what has happened to us against us. So basically, the so-called white man came in, Salaki. The so-called white man came in as a lord over us and used everything against us. Used the term of him being a friend, a help, a Christian, a good American, a good citizen, a good Samaritan, and took advantage of us fully. No more, he took the chart down. No more, we serve whites only, white pies only. Nah, he said, nah, no, no. What we do, we just make it look like we like these niggas, right? You can go to Sirach 12, start at the verse 10 on down. Scripture talks about never trust thine enemy. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go to Isaiah 47. It says judgment on Babylon, but I want to get to the point. So Isaiah 47. Listen to this, you lover of pleasure, you that think you are safe and secure. And pretty much our people have taken the ways of the Babylonians, the so-called American, the Edomite. The so-called white man pretty much put his spirit on you. You claim you are as great as the Most High, power Yahweh, that there is no one else like you. And that's the mindset of our people, so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans. You thought that you would never be a widow, and it's also in the GNT, or suffer the loss of your children. But in a moment, in a single day, both of these things will happen. In spite of all the magic you use, you will lose your husband and children. And the point is how that magic that America, Babylon the Great, has used, you using on our people. And this is why our people don't know their left hand to the right. They don't know their head from their ass. And this is why our people have been consumed. And this is why you're looking stupid in the face now. Because what? You believed in the American dream. You believed in that dream, and you wholeheartedly believed in it. And remember, it was to the point where you couldn't tell our people nothing. You hating on them, get out of my way. You stopping me from my vision, my dreams, we all know how niggas talk, you know. Come on, man, get out my face, man. I don't want to hear that bullshit, talking that negative shit. Nah, man, nah, I'm great. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be wealthy. Yeah, you always thinking that small nigga shit. You always thinking that small. Nah. You know, I know people in the world, they still talk that, get money, get rich, get wealthy, and this and that. The big, hey, hey, I hear him. I hear him. I ask you a lot of questions. Then what? After you get it, then what? Then what? Huh? Then what? Fuck you gonna do afterwards? Then what? And they don't got no answers after that. Then what? After you so-called get the riches, then what? Huh? What you gonna do? You ain't got no military. Then what? Make that fucking make sense, man. But that's a mindset of our people. Why? Because they've been what? Seduced by magic, wizardry. Verse 10, you felt sure of yourself in your evil. You thought that no one could see you. Your wisdom and knowledge led you astray. And you said to yourself, I am the most high power, Yahweh. There is no one else like me. Disaster will come upon you, and none of your magic can stop it. Ruin will come on you suddenly, ruin you never dreamed of. Keep all your magic spells and charms. You have used them since you were young. Perhaps, soon as the so-called white man came into power, remember, he removed lands. He removed people out of lands. He changed dynamics. He changed land names, land mass, etc. This was so-called white man ever since he did the Renaissance. Also, King Antiochus tells you when King Antiochus came into power, many evils came into power. So he came in the fashion of come on, y'all, everybody. Let's just all just come together in the name of love, in the name of one big old philosophy. That's what the so-called white man does. But his tactic is, wizardry, being a magician, witchcraft, man. That's all come together. He gets that from Nimrod, philosophies, doctrines, idols. Ever since the so-called white man came in during the Renaissance, all this nigga have done is use witchcraft and sorcery. Lied about his nationality, changed nationalities, Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid, etc. Color. He got everybody thinking, black and white, landmass. Yeah, because you were born there. That's what you are. Fuck out of it. And if I told everybody and I walked around and I say, yo, I'm Chinese, and I don't even have a Chinese name, people will look at me like I'm stupid. Well, that's the same as you calling yourself black, or that's the same as you calling yourself white. But that's all that witchcraft that's our people has devoured through the years of this oppression. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. I want to Lord's will do another lesson. But with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Lord's will was edified.